Today, we're going to talk about anxiety, especially around perimenopause and menopause. I've been listening to patients and others talk about it, and I thought I'd talk a little bit today, understanding what's the physiology and what you can actually do about it to feel better. So, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Lori Marbus. I'm a board certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who's licensed in all 50 states. You can learn more about my practice at drmarbus.com. And I am recently a menopause certified practitioner. So I'm super excited about that. So let's dive right into today's topic on how anxiety seems to really spike during perimenopause and menopause. All right. So first of all, we understand that, perimenopause and menopause are major turning points in our lives, right? These have all sorts of hormonal changes that can shake up not just your physical world, but also your mental health. And anxiety is actually one of the more common psychological symptoms that women experience during these transitions. So we're going to break down why anxiety happens during perimenopause and menopause and what the statistics say about its prevalence, and then what you can do to manage it effectively. So, first of all, why anxiety happens and kind of the science behind it. Number one, you have hormonal fluctuations. Okay. So, during perimenopause, hormones like estrogen and progesterone will fluctuate wildly. Estrogen, for instance, plays a huge role in serotonin regulation. That's the neurotransmitter responsible for stabilizing mood. So, when estrogen dips, it can disrupt your serotonin balance, and then that can lead to anxiety. Next, you have progesterone, right, which has calming effects, also decreases during perimenopause. And this may lead some women to feel even more prone to stress and mood swings as the progesterone levels drop. Number two, you have changes in your neurotransmitters. So, again, as estrogen levels fall, they can impact the serotonin and norepinephrine, those two chemicals that really help regulate your mood. So then the disruption can make you more vulnerable to the anxiety, the nervousness, and the irritability that you can experience during the menopause transition. And number three is your vasomotor symptoms. So these are basically those hot flashes and night sweats that we're talking about all the time. This is the classical menopausal symptoms that can do really a lot more than just make you feel uncomfortable. They're linked to increased anxiety as well. So women who experience intense vasomotor symptoms often report higher levels of anxiety compared to those with milder symptoms. And I will tell you, when I entered into menopausal transition phase and have been doing all the things that I really knew I should do, eating well, exercising, all these things, the intensity of the hot flashes was quite significant. And I was eating soy quite regularly, daily. And boy, it does leave you feeling uncomfortable because you're so in tune to your temperature of your body changes. You're feeling hot and then you feel cold and then you're wet. It's really uncomfortable to try and stay focused on what you have. So that makes you a little bit more anxious, especially if it's ongoing during something. Let's say I was seeing a patient or talking to someone who doesn't know me. It's one thing with family and you can make fun of it, but it's a whole other when it's a stranger and people are wondering, why is she blushing? So anyway, that can absolutely drive up anxiety. Totally get you. So let's talk a little bit about, the statistics behind anxiety. What's the prevalence of anxiety? Studies show that about 66% of perimenopausal women and about 50% of postmenopausal women experience some form of anxiety, really indicating that this perimenopausal phase is generally more anxiety inducing. And then another study found that the risk of anxiety increases 29% during perimenopause compared to premenopause stages. Oh my goodness. And then in another study conducted in Beijing, anxiety symptoms rose from 3.1 before menopause to 7.4 during the transition phase. So, okay, we hear it, we know it, it can happen. Now, what do we do to handle it? Well, there's going to be four things that I'd encourage you to do, or at least consider. Number one is the hormone replacement therapy. So, if hormonal fluctuations are definitely the cause, it makes sense to treat the root problem. So, HRT, or now called menopausal hormone therapy, can absolutely help stabilize hormones like the estrogen and progesterone, potentially, easing anxiety, particularly women with severe symptoms. However, we understand HRT is not the right fit for everyone, and you should talk to your doctor about your particular case. And I will tell you, I embraced the menopausal hormone therapy and feel amazing with it. So Just going to lay that out there for you. Number two is dietary and lifestyle adjustments, right? So diet, you really want to focus in on eating a diet rich in omega-3s like ground flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, things like that. High fiber, which comes from plants, and phytoestrogen like the soy products, tempeh, tofu. They can really help support your hormonal balance and reduce caffeine and alcohol intake, because these can actually worsen anxiety. So if you're going to reduce those the caffeine and alcohol, you may find a little bit of relief there as well. Plus, alcohol actually disrupts your sleep, as does caffeine, which again can be anxiety provoking in and of itself. You would also want to exercise, right? So regular physical activity can be a powerful mood stabilizer. It releases endorphins, which again are those natural mood elevators, and also improve your sleep, again, reducing stress. So really important to understand your brain goes through an amazing thing when you're resting and when you're sleeping. It's kind of like, think about it as the janitorial crew comes in and cleans up all the metabolic waste that your brain has been producing all day. And so you really need to allow yourself to get the best rest you can. And that includes, moving our bodies so that we get better sleep. And you may find, and if you are struggling with sleep and you're maybe not looking to get estrogen, but maybe progesterone, I've actually prescribed this to some of my postmenopausal women, and it works wonderfully to help some women sleep better. And I will tell you, I thought for the, I don't know, my last 7 or 8 years of my 40s, because I just turned 54, I was just a light sleeper. I didn't really think about anything else. And so I was actually having sleep disturbances before I began to have, changes in my cycle and any of these little bit of hot flashes that were occurring. So I will tell you, I sleep so much more soundly now. It's quite revealing to me how the perimenopausal phase affected me all those years, and I had no clue. So there's that for you. I don't know, that might resonate with some of you. Number three is consider psychotherapy, right? So there's a thing called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and it has actually shown promise for helping women manage anxiety related to the hormonal changes. So it basically works by addressing negative thought patterns and stress-related behaviors. Number four is mindfulness and relaxation techniques. I love this. Mindfulness has changed my life. I will tell you, it's been the most fabulous practice that I've ever could have done. It's basically being present and understanding, but there's a few different things, like breathing exercises can really help you understand and hone in on what works for you. But others might like meditation or yoga. But I really like to focus in on my breathing, especially when I'm feeling a little bit elevation of, my emotions for whatever reason. And again, with the exercise, the better sleep, the HRT, everything is so much better, at least in my life. So again, remember, anxiety during perimenopause and menopause is not just all in your head. And if someone tells you that, you need to walk away from them. That's not cool. It's a very real consequence of fluctuating hormones, neurotransmitter changes, and other physical symptoms like hot flashes that can actually exacerbate the symptoms of anxiety. While those causes are definitely complex, there are absolutely effective treatments that can range from HRT to dietary to exercise, mindfulness. There are also other medications if that's might be a better choice for you. But again, early intervention and support can absolutely be really, really crucial for you, so you don't feel alone and basically stranded in the pool of anxiety. You absolutely do not have to go through that alone. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm sending my gratitude, joy, love, and healing your way. And I'm hoping calmer moments, because again, we all need more of that in this world. So have a blessed day, everyone, and we'll talk again soon.